All right, mic's working. All right. Back at the shop again. This piece of junk right here. Since last video, the heater was not working the very next day, or matter of fact, the same day I got home, which was that Sunday last week. Stopped working as soon as I let off the gas, and then when I try and bleed the air, even though I already bled it to 3,000 RPM or so, heater start working again. So I'm like, excuse me? I just put a second water pump off camera, and now I ain't got no heat. So the only other thing I did was also get a thermostat, which this is a new one from O'Reilly's. Instead of, an AC Delco or GM original parts from that Jungle website, Amazon. So yeah, we're gonna put another one of these again. So we're drain the coolant, do all that, and hopefully we get some heat all the time instead of just when I'm on the gas. Because that's the only other thing I touched. I doubt my heater core is cold, in case you're wondering, or it's rusted through. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, considering what we found last time in the water pump. But I want to try whatever's easiest first, because it's right in my face. I have some coolant with me, so we'll get started. It's pretty easy. Last time I did it, it took like 30 minutes. But it's just right down there. You can kind of see it. It's just right down there. We're gonna drain it in the corner. Once that's done, I'll take that hose off and thermostat out. So you get your guys in a good spot. That way you can't see anything, because my cameraman skills suck. But regardless, let's get started. This time I got the mic. I'm more prepared. And so yeah, I got the tripod too. And can't see anything. How about over here? Sure. Whatever. I don't know what you can even see. Probably can't see anything. Oh well. Let's get this hose connected. Oh, ow. That's showing skin. That's okay. Just tore it off on this bolt. That's gonna start bleeding. Oh, ding dong. I gotta take off the splash shield. Whoo! That's starting to sting. Sure, why not? Get my hose. I think I dropped this flashlight one too many times. There we go. And I didn't mention, but off camera that same Sunday, or the following day on Monday, when I was checking out the problem with no heat and all that, on top of all that, you might notice this looks a little too shiny, because I had to replace the brake booster and the master cylinder for the third time. Now, Jerry, why would you do that for 3 times? Let me tell you. O'Reilly's special. The boosters from Napa, or sorry, AutoZone. Just because O'Reilly's didn't have one in stock at the time, so I had to run across the street, get one from AutoZone. That's not the problem. This is brake best. You know, this setup is 2-wheel drive, drum brakes. So I think it's a cheaper one for like $160 or something like that, just for the master. And then the booster is like $300 almost. It's like 2 something. Reman, obviously, because they don't have any brand new available in stock. But the master's brand new, and this is the 3rd time I had to warranty this one. The first time it was the original master cylinder. That's a separate discussion. The whole brake fluid was contaminated, and it took out everything else. Wheel cylinders, ABS module, calipers. But I did the master cylinder, and now it went out again. So this is the 3rd master cylinder in this truck. Whoa! So yeah, I had to do that the following day because I recorded it on Sunday. Then Monday night, I checked it out for the coolant. No heat issue. And midway through that, when I was trying to bleed the coolant, it was sitting there idling. I just heard the brakes give out. I heard the brake pedal move. All of a sudden, just shift. And then, what's it called? My ABS light came on, and I got a brake circuit code. But I have a new brake pedal switch in here from like 2 years ago, brand new OEM. So I'm like, no way, dude. But you know, that was the master cylinder giving me a warning. I just didn't know it. And then obviously, you know, I had no brakes until the very end, all the way to the floor. Just like 90%, no pedal, couldn't stop. So, yeah. I pulled out the master cylinder when I found that out. I had no brake pedal. And guess what? Master cylinder is leaking internally, and it just dumped fluid all inside the brake booster. So, that was awesome. Thankfully, I had the next day off, which was that Tuesday. And I had to do that off camera. Obviously, I didn't want to record that. I was schmoving. And I was working at it all day from like 8:30 in the morning or so, because I had to pick up the parts. It's like 9 a.m. when I started, all the way to like 4:30 in the afternoon. The brake booster and master cylinder were not the hard part. It was getting these freaking lines off the master cylinder, because they're starting to round off, because, you know, you're not supposed to do a master cylinder 3 times on the same truck. And obviously I didn't have any line wrenches, so I just worked with what I had the past 3 times. And once you do that a number or 2 or 3, the lines start to get rounded off without the right tools and wrenches. So I was fighting that, because I would tighten it, it'll start rounding off, and then I'd go drive the truck or press on the brake pedal, and I would see some fluid leaking out the line in the back that you can't see. That one. So eventually I just had to file down the corner so I can get it flat again, put a wrench on it, and hammer in a 14 millimeter, because these are 15. And just crank down on that 14 as hard as I could. And luckily, with just the little love taps of the hammer during the time to tighten it, it stopped leaking. So we're good. I don't know why, but today I just saw fluid coming up from the top of the lid cap. And it kind of like made a trail on the booster. Probably can't see it on camera, but I cleaned that up. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Man, this truck is just something telling me keep it off the road. But we're going. Coolant's still draining. Should be almost done. It always makes a mess. But yeah, I did the master, the booster, and now I'm doing the thermostat again. And I had to do a second water pump. Jeez, man. Crappy parts, I tell you what. Just makes you want to throw something into the wall. Sounds like it's done. She's spitting. Let's see. Oh yeah, you got a thin trail. That should be most of it. I drove here, so taking off this thermostat's gonna be a little toasty. Okay, I do not have to remove the dry belt, if I remember. It will just get absolutely soaked for the AC one. So 10 millimeter, 2 bolts, 1 hose, and she's out. Whoa! Gotta watch your step there, feller. Ah, man. Yes! Of course, the light is always where I need it. Get this clamp off. And no, for those wondering, I did not replace the hoses that are original from 2011. Let me get my bucket ready. Because this is a work truck. If it don't need the hoses, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the hoses are not collapsed in any way, so I'll make the shots around here, or I call the shots, whatever. Oh yeah, plumb full of coolant. Woo! I'm getting blood on this truck. There's one. Come to Papa. Oh, I dropped it. That's fine. I didn't need it. I totally don't have to go fishing for it in the pan. Oh, here comes the rain works, or the water works. Damn, that was a lot of coolant in there. Oh, that's fine too. I totally didn't need that either. It's okay. Oh, she is plumb full of oil. Yeah, let me clean this up. Stand back. Fishing. There's the thermostat. There's my bolts. Go make sure it looks the same, which it does not, but that's okay. Looks like it about sticks out the same, but let's go ahead and put her in. Yeah. Follow the cutout. A little nippy sticks out. So yeah. No bueno, man. you go. Put you guys back over here. Whoa. Hang on there, feller. Can't see anything, but that's okay. Okay, let's keep going. All right, let's tie these suckers down. She's good. Ugga-duggish. Ugga-duggish there. Oh, right in the bucket. That's it. Get the hose back on now. Link. Clamp. $30. Video here, and that's how you do a thermostat again. That they didn't fix the problem. So I'll figure something out off camera, but I'll give you guys an update. All right, we're back. I think like an hour, almost an hour and a half passed. It is currently 12 p.m. I came here at 9, but it took almost an hour to get the thermostat in. So you can tell she's running. She is all burped up. And good news, reason why it took me an hour and a half additional, we now have heat. About 134 degrees Fahrenheit for Freedom units. Temps looking nice and stable, just above 210. and we're just at idle. It's not anymore at 3,000 RPM. So yeah, that's a good news. But the reason for that, like I said in the last clip before I cut the video, this freaking truck, I put the thermostat in, like I said, the original one's in here. Turns out it's actually still good, so I'm gonna keep it. That was a $30 lesson. But I will show a clip in the video of how bad and rusty the hoses looked going to the heater core. And I had a feeling in the back of my head that was going to be the case, but I didn't want to believe it. Fast forward, look what I found. But I took off the heater core hose, going to the water pump, and I looked in there and I'm like, sheesh, that looks horrible. You ever seen I can't find a good way to describe it, but it was bad. It was like looking at a orange dyed box of Frosted Flakes, if that makes any sense. It was bad, but it was all caked around the walls and the inside of the hose. But anyways, I had one option or two options: replace the heater core, which I'm not gonna do, or so I was down to one option, was to flush it out, which I've heard of guys doing. This being a 2011, it still shares a lot of the older stuff, you know, from your Cat Eye and first gen LS, I believe, something like that. So I'm like, let me try it. I don't have access to water, but I do have this. Washer fluid that's very diluted and watered down. So I took a risk because it has that fast drying thing, chemical in there. And I'm like, screw it. Let me shove a bunch of washer fluid straight from the pump or straight from the hose right into the heater core. So I took it off from the firewall. If you know, these have the freaking quick disconnect that's impossible to get to and always breaks off when they're 10 years old. The one on the right over there, that one I actually replaced before for the same reason, you know, plastic broke off inside of it. And then that one I have never touched with the worm clamp. So I'm like, you know what? It has the worm clamp on there. I don't have my quick disconnect tools for these heater hoses on me right now. So let me try that. I took that off. Then that's when I found the rusted Frosted Flakes in the hose. Or the rusted corn flakes, whatever. Same thing. And yeah. That freaking, I shoved that washer fluid hose over there right into the heater core until it came out looking clean. And fingers crossed, I put everything back together, bled the coolant, bled all the air out, and yeah, here we are. So $30 lesson. Looks like the thermostat at least was good. Oh, excuse me. I just ate lunch. The $30 lesson is that the thermostat was good from the Jungle website on Amazon. I didn't need this one, but I left it in, the O'Reilly special. I'll just hold on to the original one I got from Amazon. I don't know why. I'm probably not going to even have it that long, but before this thing even breaks down. But regardless, yeah, we are going to end the video here shortly. Just wanted to give you guys another update of what happened and how I came to the conclusion. Because literally, the radiator we replaced like 4 years ago when we got the truck. And then, because you know that the side tank always gets a crack. Previous owners were just adding water and water and water all the time. Because I remember when I drained the coolant, it looked like very, very water diluted orange, if that makes any sense. So maybe over time of them previous owners adding water, It just started eating up the heater core on the inside, like we saw in the water pump video. It was just flaked and caked on the thermostat outlet or inlet. Sorry, but yeah, that was bad. So I can only imagine what it looks like inside the heater core, but thankfully, flushing it out, with some washer fluid I had here in the shop, everything's all good. So yeah, we got the heater working at idle. This piece of junk is at least has heat now. It's still got some oil leaks. Front timing cover, I got to do that. Maybe, we'll see. I'll see what my parents want to do. It's their truck. See if they really want to go after it, because this valve cover on the passenger side is still leaking just a little bit. Lower oil pan is leaking. The oil cooler line is leaking. If you know, it's right on top of the oil filter. Makes it look funny when it leaks, because you're like, oh, is it my oil filter? And you're like, oh wait, no, it's not. So yeah. And then my front timing cover is now starting to leak. So yeah, if I'm going to do the timing cover, technically I don't have to take off the oil pan. I just have to unbolt the front few bolts that go on the front to the cover. And there's a gasket that you just replace. But I have to take off the water pump back off. Ah, man, this thing needs a lot of work. Anyways, and that's not even including suspension, because these front arms and upper arms are not original, or they are original. The lower ball joint is the only one I've done, and this wheel bearing I've done as well. I did the wheel bearing by accident. It wasn't even that. It was a lower ball joint giving me play, and I thought it was a wheel bearing. But anyways, yeah, I need suspension on the front. I need to do the diff service. It's just a whole laundry list on this thing. But anyways, I'll end it here. Thermostat, that didn't fix the problem. Still no heat. Yeah, if you're curious, I can just give you a little glimpse. The coolant hose closer to the firewall, the second one over there, I took both of them out over here. These two bad boys. And like I said, the one with the worm clamp over there, I took that one completely off, and that's when I saw the rusted cornflakes. And yeah, I just shoved freaking washer fluid straight in there until it came out clean. But anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find some videos of people cleaning heater cores. But if you got a problem similar, here you go. Lack of maintenance from previous owners, especially with high mileage trucks. That'll do it. You know, you replace the water pump and then it starts overheating and you ain't got no heat. Look at your heater core, especially when that water inlet for the thermostat was completely rusted in. But yeah, just coming over here again, still at 134, got some nice heat going. Still in temp, right above 210. Mileage, 237. Damn. Yeah, poor maintenance. Do that to any truck, don't matter what it is. Just unlucky it happened right after the water pump. It starts pushing all that coolant, and then you ain't got no flow. So yeah. Adios. Video's done.